All right, so this is a matchup I never really expected to see. So we got Disdain Dragon on the left here, both of our undefeated players, and on the right is actually Ward Haven with some spicy tech in here, which I'm very interested to see how this plays out because it's a very interesting list.
I'll mulligan. Right, you can start.
Okay. I'll start by ending my turn.
Me as well. Your turn.
Okay.
All right, turn one passes all around. Gentleman's agreement. No one can play anything turn one.
Turn 2. I'll play Animus Lion. I'll go face for 2.
Animus Lion coming down, giving away exactly what type of deck this is. We're going in there being the really aggressive Haven list. I wonder how big of an advantage do you get by throwing your opponent off, thinking you're on Control Haven or Egg Haven, and suddenly they're coming in with the damage. I guess Amethyst Line doesn't necessarily reveal that it is like the Ward Storm stuff going on, because I do believe some people still play this card in their Egg Haven list, but I'm sure after the next couple turns, things will change. Beast Call Arya coming down, a card I haven't seen since set 2. We're getting there for 6 damage already.
And I end my turn.
I think the big thing here is will Disdain Dragon draw into their total domination, or how they're going to deal with this board exactly. Disdainful Rendering would be pretty good here. We got to pop something, draw a card as well. Swing in our guy, draw another card, or I guess he doesn't get a draw card when he swings in, but you know what I mean here. We get to clear up the board and draw a card, which would be nice. Oh, not bad here. We're going to go ahead and get our Knuckle Dragon, which if they want, they can give it to, give it to Servant of Disdain here. Going to be able to Evo with the Evo point. Clear up the board here. I think if we can stabilize here, I think Disdain Dragon might be able to pull it off.
Yeah, four to your Lion. And then swing him to the other one. And then swing 2 to your life. Your turn.
Okay. Draw. Then 3. Play Ruby Falcon.
Ruby Falcon coming down.
Evo. I'll ping 2 to your dragon.
You ping 2 to your dragon? Okay, to my dragon, sorry.
We're moving the Knuckle Dragon here.
Follower. It's a 4, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And I end my turn.
That was a really good answer for that board. I think possibly swinging the 2 damage there was maybe a bit of a misplay, being a little greedy on there, thinking it would live with 4 health. But I mean, I'm sure they don't have that much experience into this matchup with Disdain, so figuring out these lines on the fly can be pretty annoying.
Thinking. Entry. Draconair again. Summon a weapon.
All right, at least this Evo here will take care of it. They could pop the weapon onto the dragon as well, putting it to a 4/5. Let it sit there, being a little bit harder to remove, but I don't know if they want to waste that heal necessarily. And we're just going to head and pass here, it seems like. Yep. Leave this 4/4 up that they have to deal with if they want.
Then 4. I'll play Birdkeeping Disciple, Fanfare. Engage that to summon Holy Falcon.
Okay.
Bird-keeping Disciple here. A card that you don't commonly see, which is pretty crazy. But makes sense since you do have a good amount of amulets in this list currently, getting at that free storm damage in. Putting Disdain to 12. Honestly, a 5/4 also is not something that you just can kind of like shrug off there. It kind of has to be answered. The fact that it has 5 damage is really huge. Even if it was at 4 health or 4 damage, it's still really scary. 5 attack is something I do not want to ever leave on the board if possible. We're at 5 play points with 1 Evo point. What can we do here? It's kind of rough. What can Disdain do? We're not in overflow. We didn't get to see the Dragon Oracle this game. Man, is the Storm Ward Haven gonna close out this whole event going undefeated 4-0? It's kind of looking like it from the current state of the game, I feel like. All right, Apostle of Disdain here. We're gonna get the Evo off, see if we can find anything for some removal here. What is some good removal we can find here? Not a lot of things we can really use to get rid of the bird-keeping disciple here, which is kind of awkward. Like, your best answer I see in the list right now is like Servant's Wrath, which, I mean, we're not going to find it off of this, and we don't have the play points to play it.
We're using IO point. I'll discard a card. I'll look at the top 5 and get to
Will this be the first night? Only hit 1. Finally, only hits 1. It's finally happened. Unfortunately, a bad time for it to happen. Kind of low rolling in a situation you kind of want to high roll. So I think this board is pretty nasty to deal with here. We definitely have to clear the bird here. Do we have any spells, though? I think there's, 2 play points left there for them. Is that right? Which means maybe like a double Blazing Breath or something can deal with the 5/4. We swing in, hopefully remove the bird. No issues there, and hopefully live long enough to like really pop off later in the game, because we do play one of Genesis Dragon in this Disdain list, meaning
domination, deal to the Apostle, and to your bird. My Apostle gains 1 attack. And
leaving the 5/2 up here, though, is so scary. You're going to eat a 5 this next turn, plus probably the bird as well, right? So we definitely have 7 damage on board already, which means if we find 5 storm damage out of nowhere here, the game's kind of over.
Your turn.
Definitely a board they're going to have to deal with, but we'll see how this kind of plays out here. They do play Moon Al Mirage, which is 4 damage there. They just need 1 more damage out of somewhere. We also have Jerry in this list, and don't know how many cards they have in hand currently.
Spend 3. I'll play Ruby Falcon.
Ooh.
I'll go face for 2.
Face for 2.
And you take 1 more due to Ruby Falcon's effect. I'll then swing face for 5. And then you take 1 more due to Ruby Falcon's effect. Then I will spend 2 to give Ruby Falcon Storm, and I'll swing for game.
GG's.
Ooh. What a crazy finals there. That's insane. The pressure actually from Storm Ward Haven is pretty big. Unfortunately, not able to stabilize there. I'm wondering if they chose to go second because they were expecting control or maybe even egg here. I don't know if you want to go second, though, against egg, but yeah, good games. This was a really interesting matchup.